Hello guys, this is your Uncle Big Fish, and on this video we're going to be talking about the Nova. Now this Nova is one of those classes that a lot of people have been asking for, but not really a lot of people play. So I think there's just so much more classes that people tend to prefer playing nowadays that Nova doesn't really see a lot of light. But in hindsight, this class is absolutely broken. I think that it's something that not a lot of people know about, but this class is actually very broken. And before we continue with all that, I'll just show you something quite funny for all of you to see. I want you to pay very close attention on my first skill on the very top left. This will be called the Quantum Charge, and if you see here, I can just I can actually press it once, or I can hold the skill. Now if I press it once, this is what it's going to be looking a lot like. And it's actually quite interesting just how much this skill does, what the skill can do at least. So here's what I'm going to do, alright? I'm going to press it once, like so. And as you can see, it has very low cooldown. Its effective cooldown is only about maybe 1.5 seconds or so, around the area. And you actually get an additional duration once you actually use the skill again. So this skill is very strong. You can go like really sharp turns with this. This thing has a very strong turn rate, so you can actually turn very easily with the skill. Like you see there, I can almost like just run in place, which is quite crazy if you think about it. Like many other skills like Berserker Charge or like the Warlord's Turn, it doesn't have the same turn rate. So this thing is actually quite interesting. You can actually just turn very sharp, and this allows you to break forward guard very easily. It allows you to CC people very easily. So this skill is really strong. Like, I'm not joking, like this skill is absolutely broken, guys. Like very broken skill. This thing does get a reduced MP cost and all that, yeah. This thing does have a flow unstoppable march, consumes 30 MP for additional movement, so that it actually lasts a little bit longer. The whole skill lasts for about 3 seconds or so, 3.5 seconds around the area, and it has a cooldown of 5 seconds, making this only a 1.5 second cooldown skill. This thing does stun on every hit, so it's actually quite insane, and you can press it at any time again to cancel it, and when you cancel it, it turns into a daze, yeah? So that's what the skill does. Now let's talk about the skills, like from the very beginning until the very end. Now, Command Knight's Charge. Swing the Quantum to create a sheet of ice, and then summon Knight to attack. So this one gives you 1 promote summon stack, which we'll be talking about later once we talk about the passive. But this skill in hindsight deals very good damage. This thing does 362 times 3. So let's call that 350, yeah? So 1050. Max 2 hits, so you get like around 2100 plus around that area, I think. Yeah, so that's exactly what it does. It's at level 1, so you can probably say this thing will deal probably north of around 2500% damage at level 10. Yeah, this thing is very strong, very strong skill. It summons the Knight, which is, well, it's like a summon. It's a Knight summon. It's like a horse, yeah, and it deals damage. So Knight summon 70% of Nova's skill damage. So basically, the Knight summon will start attacking. It cannot use any skills, so the Knight will only use normal attack, and it does like 70% of Nova's skill damage. But it does have, it adds more damage into some of your skills. Like if you hold the charge, the Knight will actually attack and extend your combo damage. So it's actually quite nice. This will be the Command Knight's Charge. Very low cooldown at 6 seconds, very high damage. Yeah, has imbued with La Breve or Al. Alright, next let's talk about the Glacier Burst. This will be one of your main stab or your super tier attack power. This thing deals 650% times 2, so roughly around 1300 or so at level 1. It has 2 hits, so if you see there, Assault, hold the skill to charge forwards, deals 100% damage of Glacial Burst. So yeah, this thing deals very high damage, around 2. This thing does probably about around double your skill damage. So it does maybe somewhere around 2000, maybe 2500-ish, around that at level 1. Quite strong, quite strong skill. Next will be the command Rising Ice Thorns. Now this one attacks enemy with Frost imbued Morning Star and then order a pawn to attack the enemy. This thing gives you a 1 summon stack on the promotion passive. This thing does quite a lot of damage, guys. Like if you look at this, it deals 500% damage at level 1 per hit. It hits 4 times, so around 2000, yeah. And it gets a quite decent chunk of boost per level. This thing gets, let's see how much that gives. That gives like 15% per hit per level. You can multiply that by 10, so 150. 150 times 4, so that's 600. Yeah, so a total 500 times 6. 500 times 4, that's 2000 plus 600. So it does very high damage, guys. Very high damage. Very strong skill. Very strong damage as well. The damage is actually quite nice if you think about it. And it's actually only a freeze on hit. That's actually the part that makes it really strong, because it's only a freeze. It doesn't knock enemy down. It doesn't do anything. So it means that this skill allows you to extend the combo a lot more. And that's why the skill is really strong. You can do something really dumb like freeze stack someone, like you'll freeze this one with a freeze on hit, and then you will use another skill with the beginning of freeze, like say this one, and then you have the knockback. So the skill extends to the most duration of the freeze, which is really strong, yeah. Alright, so now this is what it does, okay? Command Rising Ice Thorns. It does a freeze and it summons the pawn. 30% Nova skill damage, yeah? Alright, next will be the Winter's Wrath. This one is also one of your main stab. This thing deals very good damage. It does 472% of damage times 5. So in hindsight, it deals roughly around 2,500 at level 1. So it's actually quite crazy, yeah? The damage is quite crazy. I think at level 10, it does something stupid like 3,000 something. very high damage. Has 2 charges and also has 6-second cooldown, very short. And this is also your main healing skill. Recovers HP, as you can see there. This thing is actually quite nice. Let's just take a look at how much it heals. Turn on the heal recovery. So it does around, so yeah, about 3 instances, I think. Let's check that one more time. We'll do this. So yeah, about 3 instances, I think. About 3 instances. So this thing heals 3 hits, yeah? Or 2 maybe, recover HP 2 upon 2 and 3rd hit. So 2 instances of healing. It at level 1, it at level 1 technology, it heals 200. So at level 5, it should heal somewhere around like 2 250, 3 300, 4 350, 5 400. So 400 times 2, 800 heal per hit, per skill cast. 2 charges, very good, yeah, very good. It has Imbue Seret as well, so you can go for a very tanky set. I think this class is one of those classes that can really go like for the tanky build. You can definitely do the tanky build with this class, like the 4 sustain build. You can go for that. Yeah, this class is very gay, yeah. very strong. Next, let's talk about the Quantum Charge. Now this is actually the thing that makes her a bit broken, yeah. So if you see here, I will just lock on this one, and then if you see there, I can just go like the whole time. I can literally like make this really stupid. Like if you see here, Flow Unstoppable March, consume 30 MP for additional movement. So essentially speaking, this is what it does. You see that? Very nice duration, yeah, around 3 second duration, 3.5 around the area. So this thing is actually quite insane. And the reason why it's so insane is because this skill CCs on every hit, and you can cancel it at any time by pressing it again. So it's actually quite nice, yeah. You can press the skill once to activate, and you'll press the skill again once you want to so wait, let me just get some mana first. Yeah, okay. So if you see here, I can just cancel instantly by pressing the skill again, and that will activate the daze. Yeah, so it stuns on every hit, and if you press it again, it will be a daze. So you can actually just stun someone, and the moment you see the enemy get stunned, you can press it again instantly, so they get dazed, and then you can continue with the combo. Or you can just say you stun someone, and then once you see that they got stunned, you can use the skill, this skill, what's called naming? I fucking forgot. I think it's a Command Rising Ice Storm. You can use this. By the way, this is a arena combo, so don't try doing this in the field. It's not gonna work because this combo uses Command Rising Ice Storms, and this doesn't have immunity in field. So yeah, you can probably use this a lot more. Now, let's talk about the next one. Quantum Charge. This thing does give you PvP damage taken reduction. PvP damage reduction 5% for 10 seconds. So it's not bad. Yeah, it's not bad. This skill does require MP to use. So yeah, make sure you think about it first. This thing uses a total, I think, 50 MP, I think, for the Unstoppable March. Yeah. So you do need MP for this to work. All you need to do is just to hold the skill, yeah, if you want to activate instantly the second hit. Alright, next, Affliction. Now this one swings the Morning Star quickly for multiple attacks. This thing is probably just a PvE skill. Yeah, you see that, just PvE skill. Next, Frenzied Bishop. This is your main stab and also your highest damage skill. This thing does have a flow, apply Frozen Root enhancement. You can do this. So there you go. If you press it just once, that's what it's gonna look like. I have it set up on the second page. It looks like this. It deals quite good damage, guys. Quite good damage. I would say, very good damage. Yeah, this one. This one deals around. Let me check. This thing deals 348. Let's call it 350. 350 times 2, 700. 1,000. 700 times 2, so like 1,400 or so, yeah, damage, I would say, around the area. But you get the assault. Hold the skill, charge forwards 100% damage of Frenzied Bishop. This thing is what makes it really nice. And you get the flow, which deals like a Frozen Root. The damage is actually not that amazing. Actually, the Frozen Root just deals like area of effect attacks, yeah. But it's quite useful, so sometimes you might use it. It doesn't really do as crazy damage as the other skill. I would say in hindsight, the skill Winter's Wrath deals more damage by quite a huge margin, but this is not bad for a damage filler for sure. Yeah, you can also put this with Serret if you want to go super gay as well. Yeah, it works. You can go at Command Frost Shield. Now this is probably your main, one of your main most important skills. This thing is broken, like real talk, this skill is absolutely broken, yeah. So this is what you do. The moment you do this, you can walk, and the first 2 seconds, you will actually have super armor behind you. So it's not, you have FG in the front and you have SA in the back. So for the first 2 seconds, an enemy cannot break this at all, yeah. And you can actually cancel this, and you can come back to use the skill again. The skill have a second hit, which you can try to pay attention to the bottom left of the skill, yeah. I will use the Frost Shield, and I will use a different skill. I can just walk, do whatever, and then I can return, use the skill again. The skill before, the command, the thingy, command thingy, the command ice, the Frost Shield, yeah. This thing does have a decent cooldown, but this skill pretty much invalidates most attacks, and this thing is quite crazy actually, because this skill allows you to play very defensive, and if an enemy gets close, this thing is continuously freezing the opponent. The moment an enemy goes into the proximity of your shit, yeah, they actually get frozen. So it's actually really strong, because it nullifies all attack from the front. So if you're sticking your ass on the wall, it pretty much cannot be broken from the back, only from the sides, yeah. And it's very hard, considering that you have other things like a quantum charge or something you can always bank onto. So this skill is really broken, yeah, very strong skill. It allows you to obviously play very defensive and just stall people out. You can literally just do this while the queen is attacking the opponent, so you're dealing like continuous damage without doing anything, to be honest. You can spam your bullshit Sarot skills and just heal back damage and you're just doing nothing in the back. Yeah, this class does allow for that kind of cheesy playstyle. It's quite crazy, and it's actually also a buff for both you and your it's a buff for both you and your allies. Yeah, allies behind you receive PvP damage taken minus 10%, so it gives an area of effect 10% damage reduction to your friends behind you, if they are within the range, of course. It does promote summon stack +1, so it's quite nice, yeah. Next, Taunt of Punishment. This is probably the only range type grab in the game. It has a cooldown of 13 seconds. Quite shit, I would say. Quite shit cooldown, quite shit effective cooldown, but yeah, it's not bad, yeah. The skill is not bad. This thing has a effective cooldown of, if I recall correctly, around 9 seconds, I think. So not horrible, I would say. It's not horrible at all, but definitely not great. And that's because the skill have some kind of a downtime. Like there's a wind up. You see, she needs to like swing her morning star first, so it's not instant. It's one of the things that sets her back, to be honest. But aside from that, I think the skill is quite useful for. You can actually, the wind up does have immunity, so you can actually use this to dodge some. Say that you're really dry, you got nothing else, you can use this to just get the immunity and then cancel it. You can cancel this instantly by the way you see that. You can cancel it instantly, so you can use the first bit of immunity and then run away and something. If it clips, then it's good. So yeah, the grab opening damage of this class is not great, so I guess it's okay, yeah. And then let's talk about the next skill, Frozen Wasteland. This is pretty much just farming skill. And this is gonna be a buff, nothing surprising, just normal AP heal 500 and evasion cooldown reduction. Next, the most important part of this video will be the passive. Now this passive is quite crazy, yeah. This is pretty much summoning of queen or knight or a pawn. But you can promote the queen, you can promote a knight or a pawn to create a queen. This queen deals 80% of your skill damage. The queen will use some of Nova's skills, but it does not have branches, and enhancements are not applied. But it does deal 80% of the base power of the Nova skills. So it does hurt a bit, guys. It don't sweat on this, okay? It hurts a bit. I think on a proper calculation, the queen should deal roughly maybe around 60% of your total damage output. So it's actually quite nuts, yeah, quite nuts. Applies after all skills are learned. Gain 1 stack when summoning pawn or knight. So you can see like on every skill, you see on the command, yeah, promote summon stack. You see on the very bottom left, yeah, promote summon stack. Once you get 6 stacks, you will summon a queen. And this queen is pretty much the main thing, and this queen will stay up for quite a bit of time, guys. So it's actually quite crazy, yeah. It's quite nuts. In this thing, queen summon, it does have you cannot summon a pawn or a knight when you have a queen up. So the queen is like the upgrade, yeah. But you can still accumulate the summon stacks if you have the queen already up. So you can actually like keep on getting more of the summon stacks. So the moment the queen expires, it will go back out again. So if you keep spamming skills, it will eventually always keep coming out. The queen uses some of Nova's skills, I've talked about this already, and it has damage against monsters 15% for 10 seconds upon using command skills. Now in hindsight, the passive does give you 10% damage dealt and 15% damage reduction, so it's actually quite nice, yeah. 15% damage reduction is quite nice. It's only a little bit below Berserker, I would say. Berserker's at 20. However, this thing is not necessarily it, because if you see here, this thing is 15%, but some of your skills actually give you also damage reduction. Like this one gives you 5% damage reduction for 10 seconds, yeah. And then there is this one, Quantum Charge. It gives you also damage reduction for 5% for 10 seconds. So I think you can accumulate quite a big amount of damage reduction. It doesn't last very long though, so that's the case, yeah. it doesn't last very long, but you can get up to like maybe 20 or 25% damage reduction. Quite nice. This class also have one of the highest single damage output in the game. I think this class deals the second. I think it's the second highest. Wait, let me check real quick. Yeah, this class deals the second highest damage output in the game. After, of course, after Warlord. Warlord is fucking broken, yeah? The Queen has the second highest damage of the combo damage. Yeah? The risky combo can even on maximum roll one-shot, almost one-shot GM. But if you just do nothing and let the Queen hit the GM for like another 2 seconds, yeah, you can probably say it's a one-shot, yeah? So technically, yes, she can one-shot the GM from full HP. It's quite nuts, guys. This class is quite crazy. Yeah, the damage is quite crazy. This thing is definitely a broken class. Obviously, very, very broken class. One more thing is this Frost Shield has it does have rear super armor outside arena. So if you use this, you actually have protection behind you as well. So it's actually really nice. You can change it with super armor if you want. It's also a possibility. You can change this to a super armor. If you want to change it to super armor, you can. It doesn't really matter though, because in the end it's just like forward guard in front and SA in the back, which makes it really, really dumb. This thing is quite crazy. Very, very crazy. This thing does have a bit of counters. I would say that some of the counters of this class does revolve around, say, forward guard break and grabs. This class is quite easy to grab because you can use like while using quantum charge, you can get grabbed. But aside from that, I don't think so. Yeah, this class is quite easy to. This class is quite broken. Yeah, obviously, it's a very, very, very broken. I think this class is very, very broken. I think. Oh my god. Alright, so I think that's about it from me regarding the class and everything else. I would say that the optimal part of the skill set for PvP will be this one. For say in normal arenas, yeah, or like arenas in general, you can change the command rising ice storm. You can change this with something else. It doesn't really matter. You can change this with, say, you can change that with this if you want to. The Knight's Charge, you can use this as well if you want to. There is no set in stone like sets here, but if you want to do the crazy like stupid combo, you can definitely try out this the one that I use, the Command Rising Ice Storms. This thing deals quite big damage, very, very high damage. Yeah. All right, I think that's about it from me. The class itself is, well, quite self-explanatory. There's not really a lot else for me to talk about. There is some arena clips from Tank from Europe. Tank is one of my members in Coral Reef, one of the most talented players from EU as well. He's my nephew. He's been quite close to me for quite a while. Yeah, I've known him for a very long time. One of the channel's very loyal viewers as well. I hope you guys enjoy the arena clips that Tank have sent me, and I think that's about it from me. Enjoy the arena clips and enjoy Tank Dictator.
神の皆において祖国を侵す輩に鉄槌を。 小的烟火如星光在眸中闪烁，我盛装如花朵，环绕世界的笑容。好久不见，请笑着听我说。当掌点轻轻落在少女的眉头，洁白的飞沙掩映你视线的温柔。我盛装如花朵，守护世界的笑容。这次重逢，请笑着听我说，我的梦，我梦见飞鸟在天边亲吻着地平线，那里的白鸽正在放声歌唱着世界，空气萦绕着花的甜，像孩子的笑颜，流星会记得我许愿的那瞬间。当星空演唱为我而铺的独草，尽所能把希望书写给未来所有。我纷飞如花朵，留给世界这笑容。告别时候要笑